Hey guys, it's A-Bit Joseph here, and this is just me making a statement. And while editing, this is before the part of the video you guys are seeing. I am not sponsored by Nomad. I know a lot of people who make videos say a lot of people who make videos on them are sponsored. I want to make that clear at the start, because while watching this back, I realized I did not say it. I am not sponsored by Nomad Internet. Okay, thank you, and let's roll into the video.
Hello everybody, what is up? It's me, your boy 8-Bit Joseph, and today is going to be the video that I talked about with you guys a couple, weeks, days or so ago, and everything, guys, since the videos are still being lackluster and everything as I put in the 4K downloader thing, I figured why not a time now than ever to finally make the, the Nomad, the final review. In this video, I'll be showing you guys what the router looks like, my speeds after 5 months or close to half a year in. As you guys know, I got Nomad back when this, one of the stimulus things came in. I thought that the stimulus would be a good way to try out Nomad Internet and see if it was the internet for me. I'll talk about the good, the bad, and just the awful parts of Nomad. Because, when I told you guys when I very first made the video and everything, I had a lot of good things to say about Nomad. But, after about half a year and everything, getting a feel for Nomad, really, we get to finally dive into what's really the bad and things like that. So, without further ado, we're finally hopping into Nomad, the final review. Unless I get rid of them, then we'll talk about why. But Nomad Internet, got back whenever the stimulus very first came out, is a rural internet, thing. I had Viasaat, and Viasaat was downright terrible. So, when we got rid of Viasaat, it was moving on to the next internet provider, which was almost going to be HughesNet. Glad I did not get them. I only see bad reviews from them. Went over to my grandparents, and they told me they seen these people who lived on a ranch who used the Nomad Internet, and that it was perfect for them. And, that they could just stream all they want. Oh, they're YouTubers, they upload here. Oh, their kids are watching Netflix here, and then they got their office here and everything. So, me being a YouTuber myself, and, I don't live on a ranch or anything. I live in a small town where the only internet providers barely can even hit 25 megabits per second. And that's all of them. It's, Viasat says they're going to hit 100, but they're not, guys. Like, it's satellite internet. It's not going to happen. So, I gave Nomad a try, and at first when they came here, it was just the absolute best thing ever. Watching videos in 720, 1080, 4K HD. Like, whoa, just whoever would have thought, I never would have thought where I lived that I could get an internet speed that could handle things like that. After living with my grandparents and them having their gigabyte speed internet that they have, and then moving here to where that internet wasn't offered, it was really just, I had to find something that could work. I needed an internet provider that could upload my videos without taking 8 hours. I needed an internet provider where I could, come home and just some downtime, chill a little bit, play video games online, watch YouTube, and not have to worry about the constant buffer of Viasat internet. And, Nomad did all those things, and it did it great. Whether it's PlayStation 3 games, PlayStation 4 games, I've experimented it all. And on a Nintendo Switch as well, on the Nomad, how it handles online gaming. It is able to handle all that stuff phenomenally. But as much as I like to sit here and say the good stuff about Nomad Internet, there are still bad things about it. This is a 4G internet provider at the end of the day. The more devices you connect, like I said in the first video, the slower the internet's going to get. And that is probably one of the saddest parts about this, because I love Nomad so much. But the more devices, 4G, it's good and it's bad. Okay, 4G can hit 150 megabits per second, but you're never going to get that. That's never going to happen. Never have I seen somebody with a 4G phone being like, oh, let's test the internet speeds and getting 150 megabits per second. It's just not likely, and it's not really ever going to be likely until everybody has a 5G phone and 4G kind of, isn't as predominant as it is now. So that's the, one of the first bad things about it. It is a 4G thing, and that's something you have to take into consideration with Nomad. It's not an internet meant to handle every single device in your house. Alright, you cannot have 3 laptops connected, 5 TVs connected, every phone in the house connected, and think you're going to be smooth sailing through the day. It's not going to happen. Another thing with it being 4G is traffic things like that. You know, a lot of phones in the area run 4G. Where I live, 5G is not available. So every phone in the town where I live of 900 people hits one tower. And with Nomad Internet, it basically acts like a phone. It has a SIM card and all that stuff. And that signal that it sends out goes right to that phone tower with those 900 others that are in this town. So that's another thing you have to take into consideration. Traffic times can depend on the day. If you're trying to use the internet whenever everybody's getting off work and everybody's headed home and everybody's doing the same thing you are, loading times are going to be slower. At night, Nomad performs at its best because not as many people are up. People are trying to sleep or work tomorrow and things like that. And that's when you're going to get your best speeds. That's when you're going to hit 40 megabits per second, 50 megabits per second sometimes. But you're really never going to hit any faster than that. Another thing with Nomad is it's never, ever, ever going to hit the speed of your 4G phone, even though it's 4G, you know, says it is. My phone, when I don't have it on the internet, at this time of night, can get 50 megabits per second, while Nomad only performs from 10 to 20 at 10 o'clock, which times it is right now. And like I said, it's a 4G internet provider. You're not getting a solid, you know, string of that connection. It's going to bounce back and forth and everything. You can have videos playing in 1080 1 minute, and then they can be playing in 480 the next, because that's just how Nomad works, and that's how it rolls and stuff. Like I said, the traffic time is another bad thing. Another bad thing about, you know, Nomad Internet, it's not really a bad thing if you have a connector for what I'm about to say, but because Nomad is the way it is, it only has one Ethernet port. Now, that can easily be avoided if you have a Netgear thing or something to plug in one Ethernet cord to have multiple ports. That's what I do, because I have to send an Ethernet port out to my garage because there's a router out there that controls security cameras. So I, you know, have one of those and it heads out there to the garage. But, I mean, you know, one Ethernet port, if you don't have, and if you don't like to spend money on added accessories, then, you know, Nomad just isn't going to be for you with that one Ethernet port. Now, you know, sorry, somebody just said something on Reddit or whatever, and it sent me a message, and I was trying to read it while talking. That was my bad. But, I mean, like I said, one Ethernet port, if you don't like to buy added accessories for that, that's going to be a downside for you. I know a lot of people like to connect a lot of devices to Ethernet ports. Ethernet makes for, like, really good connection things a lot of the time. Sometimes people say Ethernet, you know, wired connection performs better than wireless. I never have noticed a difference. Sometimes I notice wireless moving faster than wired, and I know that sounds weird, but there's been times where when I tried using the Ethernet port to my TV, the internet would actually perform slower than wireless. So I don't know what that's about. I know everybody's like, oh, Ethernet's the way to go. You get that solid, strong connection. I'm like, no, bro. Like, when I use it, it makes the TV go slower. So, but yeah, guys, that's a little bit of the bad things about Nomad. Another bad thing, you know, kind of just like what I was saying a minute ago with the traffic speeds. Oh my gosh, the way the speed bounces back and forth because it's a 4G thing. It can be fast 1 second, you test it again another, and it can be a completely different speed. And that's something I notice a lot with Nomad. It's not them slowing it down. I hate when I see people saying that in the comments, like, oh, Nomad, they wait till you're payday, bro, and then they slow you down. No, bro, like, shut up and get out of here with that. You probably don't even have Nomad. What are you talking about? That never happens. It goes with the traffic speed thing and what I was talking about. Debating on how many people are using their phones and internet, you know, it's going to make a Nomad slow down and go back up no matter what. They're not waiting for you to pay your bill and then they're like, oh, chopping you off. You guys got to remember this about Nomad. Nomad Internet is not an actual even internet provider, and I'm saying that now, guys. Nomad Internet is a third party, basically, and they're running, and they're charging you for using a router and a SIM card that throws out signals without having to have a hotspot, and that's what they do. They're not a real internet provider, and I know people say that in the comments. And yes, guys, I'm not saying you guys are wrong. They're not like DirecTV and those guys, okay? They're taking SIM cards from Verizon, from T-Mobile, and using them to throw out signals so you can have Wi-Fi. And, you know, and I know some people, however, be saying, I'm not using Nomad Internet anymore. I'm going to T-Mobile. Good for you, bro. Like, why are you saying that in the comments, dude? You act like I was talking about T-Mobile Internet in the video. Like, no. But like I was saying, and that's just another thing, the speeds will bounce back and forth depending on, and that's why the internet is so fast at night, because like I was saying, a lot of people are asleep, so you're going to have faster internet speeds because the tower's not having to handle as many people. For every device that throws out 4G, that tower has to handle that, and it's going to slow everybody down. That's why when you're, like I said, if you're a kid and you're up late at night, that's why you can watch YouTube videos kind of flawlessly because, well, I mean, like, hey, man, you're up late and not a lot of people do that. And that's just the way that is. Oh, guys, give me a sec. All right, guys, sorry, I had to turn my AC off. But like I was saying, that's just the thing. Like I was saying, when you're up late, the internet's going to run faster. That's, basic knowledge to anybody who knows how signals throw out. So let's go over and look at the router. All right, for the first time ever, we're seeing a different part of the room on the video. But yes, guys, this is what the router looks like, okay? So this is just your basic stuff. You got your, I don't even know what that is. SYS net. That's showing how much connection you have. That a SIM is in, like I told you guys. The Wi-Fi thing goes on and off. Don't know what that is. You're not going to get any messages. Like I said, it shows that because it is a 4G internet, so it kind of runs like a phone. Ethernet's being used in your 4G thing. Now, this is what my router looks like. Some people actually got white routers and everything. I don't know how they got those, but they did. The two things right here on the back are your upload and download things. I have mine turned different ways because I point one of these, whatever this is, at the tower, and I point this one another way because when I was talking to the people, Nomad, they said don't point the things the same way. I don't know why. They just told me not to, but I have noticed a difference in faster speeds when I do it that way. But yes, guys, this is just what the router looks like. There's a SIM slot there. No, I'm not taking the SIM out. Wasn't born yesterday. I know if somebody gets the numbers on those, like wacky stuff will start happening. So yes, guys, you got some knowledge on electronics. This is what the top looks like. You're gonna have to clean this out regularly because a lot of dust can get in here. These are the vents. Let me try to use a flashlight so I can show you guys. Yeah, that's what the top looks like. Of course, I'm gonna have to clean mine out. It has been dusty around here lately, combines and stuff, dust getting in the house and everything. And then the back is just, basic, nothing too much. I don't want to show any numbers or anything, but yeah. So yes, guys, that's just what the router looks like, and nothing too impressive. It's just kind of like a basic router. Now let's get back and finish off this review. Alright, guys, that's just like a rundown of all of it and everything. I'm never going to be able to hit everything in these reviews because honestly, as I make them, there's stuff that I talk about and things I'm not going to remember. That's just with anybody because I don't really write a script for any of this stuff. I kind of go off it, with what I'm feeling at the time, and I give you guys the most authentic reviews I can. Like I said, with the gaming and everything, you'll be great for this. With online streaming services like Hulu and Netflix, you'll be great for this. Nomad has never really given a problem when it comes to streaming stuff like that or playing games. I mean, of course, you'll get the, people who disconnect, or sometimes the internet's going to drop. It is 4G at the end of the day, and that's just what people got to take out of this. Nomad is not your, run-of-the-shed internet. It's not Viasaat. It's not HughesNet. It's not Starlink or Stargaze or whatever that's called. It's a 4G internet provider for easy access without you having to fork out money for a hotspot that's going to run out easily or things like that. Does Nomad ever throttle? No. From what I can see, my internet is never throttled. Whenever the internet goes slow, I unplug the router for a minute and plug it back in, and the internet speed is back to good. Like, if it ever drops to speed where I think it might be being throttled, like I said, it's kind of like what I do with my phone. I'll restart my phone if I ever think it's being throttled back to normal. That's what you got to do with the Nomad. Unplug it for a minute, plug her back in there, and you'll be good to go. But never once have I ever, got a super throttled speed where I'm like, oh my gosh, they're throttling my internet. Now, if I had slow speeds like everybody else, yes, everybody's going to experience slow speeds. I don't care what internet you have. There's always going to be a time where your router cannot take what you're putting it through. I don't care if you have the most high-up router in the world, man. There's a limit for everything, and that's just where Nomad is. It's made for, you know, being on TV, streaming movies and things like that. If you talk to the Nomad Internet guys, they're gonna tell you that. When I talk to them about customer service, they say, yes, we're meant for people watching YouTube and watching movies, and that's all they were ever made for. If you go on their website and read about gaming, it's like, oh, we don't recommend because sometimes we don't hit over that 25 megabit thing that they recommend you have. But I've never had a problem with it, so I'm going to keep playing games, and I'm going to keep doing whatevers until eventually I can't on Nomad anymore. Like, if there's, like, just one time, you know, where the internet's not working and whatnot, then, hey, man, I'm not going to be playing games. I make these videos because I like, and I try to go in detail as I can, because I want you guys to take out of this that Nomad, if you have an internet provider that's running a solid 50 megabits per second and you're thinking you need an upgrade, Nomad is not for you. Nomad hardly ever hits that, and when they do, it surprises me. So if you have an internet that's running 50 megabits per second solid, and you're just like, hey, need an upgrade, then obviously Nomad is not for you. If you're in the city, Nomad is definitely not for you, because you're going to be paying $149 for internet that you could be buying from Charter for cheaper. Now, I know Charter has its own problems and things, and Charter has a lot of issues when it comes to internet connection and stuff. But, you know, still, Nomad is not what you're going to be going for in any city area. It is meant for rural internet people like me who live in a town that does not offer fast internet. Nomad hits faster at points, faster than any internet here could ever even, you know, think of hitting. Viasaat, 25 megabits per second, more than sometimes. HughesNet, 25 megabits per second sometimes. But they're throwing off satellites into outer space. So ping and stuff like that is terrible. Whereas Nomad, your ping is going to be better because it only has to throw out a signal to the tower. Now, does the tower throw out signals to outer space? Maybe. I'm not too sure when it comes to cellular towers, but I do know what satellite does, and that's why they put a satellite dish on your house that goes wherever the tower is at the time. I think it's a fucking scam because, you know, satellites move and stuff, and you pointing at one direction is not going to, you know, solve anybody's problems, but that is just me, you know. That's why some people have rotating satellites. Sorry. But yeah, guys, like, that's why I try to go in detail with this stuff and everything. And I know some people hate how much I go into detail. They want me to give a dumbed down version. If you want a dumbed down version, here's your dumbed down version of it. Buy it if you have slow ass internet. Don't buy it if you have fast internet. That's all I can tell you. That's a dumbed down version of it for you. Buy it if you're single and you make enough money to get it. Buy it if you or a spouse have enough money to get it. But if you have a family, I'm not going to recommend this. I know people in the comments have asked, how do you think it runs for family stuff? I could not tell you, okay? I live in a house with me and my girlfriend, okay? It's just me and her in this house. And sometimes my grandparents come over, all right? Sometimes they come over, and yeah, they use the internet. I gave them the password and everything. When my cousins and them lived here, I didn't give them the password because they were straight scumbags. Like, and they were just trying to mooch off me and everything. So for me and my girlfriend, it works fine. It's just me and her here. And yeah, that's just how it is. And me and her are able to use it fine. But, you know, for family stuff, I don't know. Because like I told you guys, you can't connect a bajillion devices and expect it to run fast. I mean, especially when it comes to your phone and everything, I would just suggest not even connecting your phone to it. Your phone's going to be faster than it will with the... I mean... Actually, there's some funny stuff about that that I'll talk about real quick. For some reason, Nomad running at 25 megabits per second speed on your phone, and you can watch, you know, 4K videos on your phone, but then on your regular data that's running 50 megabits per second, you can't. What is going on there, man? Like, I need explanations for that, because that makes no sense. But anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I think I've tackled about everything I can. Like I said, the dumbed down version is here at the end. At this point, guys, there's not really much more I can say to you all. I made the first video when I very first got Nomad, and it was amazing. A half a year in now, and I noticed why some people don't like Nomad. There's some people who are going to straight up hate Nomad because it doesn't constantly give them the fast speeds they want. And, you know, if you actually, you know, did your research, you'd probably understand why it's not going to give you the fast speeds all the time. But anyway, guys, that's just my take on all this. I, of course, hope you all did enjoy, and I will see you all in the next video. No more Nomad talking about it. It's done from this point on. Yes, I use Nomad to upload my videos. People need to stop asking me that. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace and have a good one.